A friend of David has thrown away his glass ball. But he could helplessly go forward to pick it up. Because this is the gift that he wants to give to his classmate. The glass ball just falls on the river. As soon as David picks it up, something unexpected happened. The cold river water instantly seeps into him. He's thinking that he would die. A second later, the river has brought him to a library. David now is confused about what's happening. At night, he has to go back to the house that he doesn't want to. Because his mom left him here when he was 5. About his dad, if his dad doesn't hit him as usual, he will scold. This time when his dad is about to hit him, his super ability comes again. He teleports to the library, which shows that he has a super ability. Then he immediately goes back home to get money and leaves. After that, he starts training himself. As long as he thinks about a place he wants to go, he will teleport there. He lives lavishly on stolen money out of bank vaults. One day, he takes the advantage of going to the restroom to locate where the vault is. Then he brings a bag at night and teleports immediately to the vault. But the bag seems to be a bit small. So he comes back home to get the bed sheet. Just keep jumping in and out of the bank like this. In the end, his room is full of money. On the other side, every staff has no clue what happened. The room is not even open. Does money really have wings to fly? 8 years have passed. David has become a grown man. His super ability is getting stronger day by day. His room is full of photos from different places where he has been to. He goes to the Maldives to surf as soon as he wakes up. Then eats a hamburger in Egypt. And enjoys the city at night in the clock tower. If there is nothing to do, he will just flirt with girls. But he doesn't know that he is being hunted by the Paladins, a secret society that kills jumpers. The leader is Roland, who always assumes that people with super ability are abomination. So he treats them heartlessly. If he meets someone with super ability, he will kill that person. Simultaneously, they also notice David. One day, when David has just got home, he sees a stranger in his house. Roland doesn't say a word, but takes out a weapon, and wants to attack David. He is struggling with a frenzied attack. So he can't fight back at all. An electric stick with 1000 volts makes him unable to concentrate. To prevent him from running away, Roland ties his legs up with a rope. He teleports the electric stick, and goes to another place in the room. Then cuts the rope. After that, he takes money, and goes back to his house. When he's visiting his high school crush, Millie, Mark, who bullied David in high school, also comes. He even hits on her in front of David. He quickly gets in a fight with Mark without saying a word. He pushes Mark to an empty place. Then they both go to a bank vault, which freaks Mark out. Now David and Millie travel around the world together, while Roland is rummaging his entire house. Unfortunately, he finds a photo of Millie. Today, they both go to Rome. He then runs into a mysterious man named Griffin, whose super ability is even stronger than him. Griffin tells David that they have been noticed. Suddenly, they are bombarded by a group of paladins. David immediately runs away, but very quickly gets caught. At this time, Griffin doesn't panic at all, but easily avoids their attack. Obviously, he is well aware of their tricks. They are not considered his opponent either. Within a second, he has already beaten them up. At that time, the staff here has heard some noises. Griffin disappears right away when David is arrested by Italian police. But he has to keep his ability a secret. Now he is detained. Not long after, a woman comes to look for him. That woman is his mother, who he hasn't seen for ages. She says, "You have to get out of here. Ditch the girl. If she's with you, she's dead." Then she just leaves. After going out, he breaks up with Millie in order to keep her from getting involved. David runs into Griffin again, and follows him to his hideout in a cave. Griffin tells David that the Paladins will not only target him, but also his loved ones to draw him out. David immediately teleports home. But at this time, he finds his father lying bleeding. He jumps his dad to a hospital, but still can't save him. David is pissed off, so he looks for Mark, whom he locked in the bank vault. Expectedly, Roland came by and learned of David's identity from Mark. After knowing all this, he wants to avenge Roland. Griffin stops him because they simply are not Roland's opponents. David asks him to team up, but Griffin responds that, "I'm sorry, but I don't play well with others." During the next few days, no matter where Griffin goes, David keeps following him thanks to the rift in space. After a long insistence, Griffin finally agrees. He even shows David something. He teleports to a car dealership, then takes a whole car outside. He says he has been jumping since he was 5. No matter what it is, he can still teleport it. The car teleports while driving on the road. It can even jump into the air. The next day, David breaks into Millie's apartment to reveal the truth to her, because he's worried that Roland will also kill her. Then he teleports her to Griffin's hideout. At that time, Roland arrives at Millie's apartment. Furthermore, he even brings a machine that keeps David's jump scar. After doing some moves, the machine has brought him and his subordinate to the hideout. David is not experienced in fighting, so he is tied up to the ceiling, which makes him unable to do anything. Roland doesn't need to say anything, he takes out the weapon, and gets ready to kill David. Luckily, Griffin saves David timely. Roland is almost burned to death, but he is still calm, knocking Griffin out within a second. Now Griffin is truly mad, he teleports to another place and rushes at him with a bus. Roland immediately lays down and almost gets crushed to death. After a while of fighting, they come back to Millie's apartment in an instant. Griffin also gets the machine back, but they didn't expect that. Thanks to the jump scare, Roland has caught Millie. Obsessed with killing Roland, Griffin plans to bomb the apartment. But Millie is in there, I have to get her out of there. Ignoring Griffin's warning, David jumps to Millie's apartment with the bomb. Griffin also chases him. They start fighting from the pyramids in Egypt to the Colosseum in Rome. They teleport from place to place, from the desert to the highest point of the city, then to the highway. But in a moment, they come to the swimming pool. From there, they go straight to Antarctica. Finally, Griffin is failed. He is locked up on the transmission line by David. Following this, David jumps to Millie's apartment by himself. But then he is quickly trapped by Roland's cables. Before he could react, he is already tied up. At that time, David has to use his final trick. The whole apartment is shaking non-stop. In an instant, the house is gone. But then it appears again on the river. After getting out of the rope, he teleports to the library. Unexpectedly, Roland is still determined to kill him. David now has no choice but to dump Roland in a cave. In the end, David is telling him, "I could have dropped you with the sharks." Roland is really stuck this time. In this situation, he can't even live for 3 days. On this side, David visits his long-lost mother. She tells him the reason why she had to leave him. Turns out she is also a paladin. When he was 5, he made his very first jump, so she discovered his super ability. "I only had 2 choices. I had to either kill or leave you." Knowing the truth, David has to let go of everything. After leaving her house, David meets up with Millie and travels around the world with her. If you had that super ability, how would you use it? This is the end of the movie today. Thanks for watching.